Hey friends, Danielle here. Today we're gonna make the cutest lemon curd tartlets that you've ever seen. And we're gonna start off by making the lemon curd. Lemon curd is pretty simple. You just need a double boiler or some sort of double boiler. I'm using my mixing bowl and then I have a pan of boiling water. The boiling water is not touching the bowl because I want this to be kind of a slow cook and that will help with that. We have a few ingredients, some sugar, some fresh lemon juice, some lemon zest, as well as 3 eggs and half a cup of butter. So let's go ahead and get this started. I am going to put the lemon zest into the sugar first. And I'm just gonna give this a good stir. The sugar, this helps release the oils that are in the lemon zest into my bowl. So I'm going to add in my lemon juice. I just want to slowly melt the butter into the sugar and the lemon juice. There's no rush here. It will melt. We're just gonna give it a few minutes to do so. While that is melting, I'm going to crack 3 eggs. Oh, that was a good crack. So I'm gonna take my warm whisk that has been in the lemon zest mixture thingy, and I'm going to whisk my eggs, and then I'm gonna put my whisk back into the heat, and I'm going to whisk them again. I'll do that a few more times. Now I'm doing this because these eggs, though they're room temperature, they're about to go into something that's really hot, and I don't want them to curdle immediately. So I'm trying to adjust them to the heat that they're gonna feel in just a moment. Okay. Now this will not prevent you from having, a totally scrambled-free curd, but it's one of the ways that you can preserve the eggs in your curd. Now that these are beaten and my butter is melted, I'm gonna make sure that I'm stirring while I'm pouring the eggs in. Make sure that I'm stirring while I'm pouring the eggs in. So I've been stirring for about 5 minutes, and now I'm gonna check and see how close we are to being done. One old wives' tales trick is for you to see if the curd will coat the back of a spoon. That will tell you that it's thick enough to move to the next stage. So I'm gonna see if it coats the back of the spoon. Yeah. I'd say it's coating. It's coating. You'll also notice that the curd has gotten a lot thicker and the color has deepened. It went from a very pale yellow to a fairly dark yellow, which is great. So it feels more and more like an actual pudding or custard at this stage. Between this and the spoon, I know it's time to remove it from the heat. So let's go ahead and do that. The most important step for your lemon curd is to pass it through a sieve. And the sieve is gonna catch any of the thicker chunks that might have come from the eggs, like if they scrambled, and you'll be left with a curd that's silky smooth. All right, so take a look at what's left in the sieve. There are scrambled eggs, there's lemon zest, and that's pretty normal. But if you skip this step, all of this will be in your lemon curd, and it can either taste really eggy or just not have the right texture. So make sure that you're passing it through a sieve. Now from here, we are going to cover this lemon curd with plastic wrap. I want the plastic wrap to touch the lemon curd So I want to place it on top, and this just helps it not form like a film while it's chilling in the fridge. And now it's ready to chill. So you can let this chill for a number of hours. I'm gonna let this chill for about 3 hours, and then I'll come back and check and see how it's doing, and it should be fine from there. Your lemon curd will last, I would say, up to 2 or 3 weeks in the fridge. There are no preservatives in a lemon curd, so it will spoil if you don't eat it soon enough, but you don't have to worry about that, because what we put it in next will make it irresistible to chowing down on it. I am making a Pate Sucree, which is a traditional French pastry. And this particular pastry is tender, it's sweet, and it's very sturdy, and it's perfect for any sort of curd that's going to sit on top of it. And it really doesn't take that much to make it. So we're gonna start off by creaming sugar and butter. I'm also gonna add in the salt. The next stage is to add in the flour. And this is producing a very crumbly texture right now, which is totally fine. We're gonna add in 1 yolk to help out with that. This is the final texture of the dough. And what we want to do now is to allow this dough to chill. This will allow the fats to solidify within the dough. It'll stop gluten from forming, and it'll give it some time just to rest and get its life together. So I'm gonna put this here. I'm gonna flatten this out until about a 6-inch circle. This will make it easier for the next step. Now that this is wrapped up nicely, I'm gonna take and put this in the fridge and let it chill for at least 30 minutes. I took the dough out of the fridge, and it is nice and firm and probably too hard to roll out, but I'm gonna do my very best. We are going to be putting the dough in these cute little tartlet pans. These are 4 inches, and they have a removable bottom, which will come in handy. I did spray them with a little bit of non-stick spray. This time I'm going with this. Baker's Joy, I had to leave you in the past because your nozzle keeps breaking on me, and that's like $3.69 that I am leaving on the table. So I'm sticking with Pam, and we're gonna try and roll this out. Now the beauty of the Pate Sucree is that it does not have to be pretty as you're putting it in. It doesn't even have to be perfectly rolled. You can literally pinch off of the edge and put this in the pan and then press it around. But I like to start off to see how much I can roll it before I resort to those measures. Ooh, it's breaking apart already. Smash it with the hammer! Have you guys seen The Emperor's New Groove?
I'll smash it with a hammer! It's brilliant, 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 I tell you!
Let's see. Now that's an Oscar winning movie. Okay. Let's see. Whoop. Oh, my favorite line is when she says, "Pull the lever, Kronk! Wrong lever!"
Pull the lever, Kronk! Wrong!
Shout out to Eartha Kitt. Is she still alive? Shout out to Eartha Kitt. And if she's not alive, may she rest in peace. But it's a fabulous movie. If you guys haven't seen it, please check it out. Okay. Here we go. Plenty left, but it'll let me know really what I need to work with from the beginning. Okay. Now let's start the painstaking process of fitting this in here. Now you'll notice that there are little cracks and there's a little hole there. What you want to do is take the excess and just plug it into those cracks. It's actually a really great activity to do with kids or the grandkids. They'll love playing with the dough and you really can't mess this up. Oh, I just remember something from Wicked. Oh, she does toss, toss, toss. I think I'm having a mini breakdown. Okay. And there you have it. Now we have to do a million more. I'm going to dock the pastry. So I'm going to put little holes in it. And this will keep it from inflating too much as it's in the oven. Now these will need to go in the freezer or the fridge for about 30 minutes before I put them into the oven. Now my little Pate Sucrees have been chilling for quite some time. They're nice and firm, very cold. These need to blind bake. Because we don't bake the lemon curd, I want to make sure that these are nice and crispy and done before I put the lemon curd in the shell. So what I'm going to do, put a little piece of aluminum foil in each one. That way I can lift out the baking beans or the rice or the sugar, whichever you choose to use. Personally, I love to use sugar. Sugar tends to weigh the same in a tart shell, and so you have equal weight. The beans are okay. You don't always get equal weight though from using them, so it's a wee bit wonky. And then the rice, I don't know why I don't like the rice, to be quite honest with you, but I'll try all three and then show you what all the shells look like outside of that. So let's do some science, shall we? Now let's put these in. Okay, I have let them bake for about 15 minutes, and I already started removing the inserts. To be quite honest with you, the pie weights were more effective than the sugar or the rice, and I think it's just because they weighed slightly more this round. But in all of these cases, or in all of these, I've kind of lost a little bit of the crust, but we don't have to worry about that because the edges are still very much so intact and you won't see the insides anymore. Before I put these back in, I am going to do an egg wash. You can do egg, you can do milk, you can do a combination of both. I'm just gonna go with egg today. And that'll make it look all nice and shiny as it comes out of the oven. Now we'll put these back in for another 15 minutes or so until they are golden brown. In the meantime, let's make some macarons. And there we have stiff peas. This is a perfect one. What you want to do is to get them evenly sliced. Now, I showed you 5 ways not to do it, but the 6th try, this one is a winner. So I like the width of this, and I mean, it's just gorgeous. Look at nature and how it works. It's beautiful. But if you have them evenly sliced, then they will cook around the same time. If you have ones that are super, super thin, they're gonna cook faster than, say, this one. And that's okay, they just won't have the same texture as you are eating through them. Also, once these are cooked, they are completely edible, and that includes the rind. Here's the lemon curd that we made earlier. It is all nice and perfect, and it just needs a good stir before we add it into the shell. Oh, goodness. It is beautiful and luscious, and I mean, really, you could just eat it off the spoon now, but we're gonna have some decorum. And we're gonna fill our shell. Before we add the rest of the decorations, I'm gonna let these set in the fridge for, I don't know how long, maybe 3 hours or so to let them really come together, and then we'll add everything else on top. And here they are. fully decorated and super chilled. I mean, they look just gorgeous. Gorgina. Look at how stunning they are. And each one has its own like little unique decoration because why not? I'm gonna sprinkle some extra powdered sugar up there because I think it just heightens the look. All right, I don't know which one I wanna cut into. Oh, this is a very tough decision. But I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go with this one. Oh, this looks beautiful. Pretty evenly brown pastry and no soggy bottom. Mostly golden honey brown. And even over here, we have a pretty solid pastry. That looks delicious. But now that I've picked up this one, I want to pick up another one. Maybe this one. Oh, I love it. This one has a smiley face. Into one of these, they look so beautiful. I almost don't want to touch them, but I'm not that crazy. Oh, would you look at that? The custard is set. The pastry is fairly thin, brown on the bottom. Oh my goodness. That's a 10 out of 10. The Pate Sucree is crisp. The lemon curd is giving me exactly what I need. I want to be able to pucker up Buttercup. It is so delicious. And I love that they are so small and tiny. It's a perfect evening snack. I mean, it's a perfect breakfast if you need it to be. If you like this kind of content, make sure that you like, subscribe, and share. Of course, I'll be back. And until then, I love you lots like tater tots. Bye.